helping is Zach Thomas, Louis Lipowitz, and probably George Davies will be making his way here shortly. So the idea of a lot of the neurocognitive has come about when we've kind of figured out after injuries there seems to be a disconnect. Person recruiting, the way people move, high injury rates after coming back, like an ACL, 30% re-injury rate. So certainly that happens at the upper extremity as well. So the first drill, we're going to make some leaps, kind of make it exciting to begin with, and then we'll start at a lower level. So we're going to do the complete opposite of what we do in the clinic, right? Instead of going, kind of from simple to more complex, we're going to go complex just to capture your attention. So the idea here is we've got 4 BlazePods. His right hand will tap the red one. His left hand will tap the blue one. These are 36 inches apart as far as horizontal.
Does it have to be every alternating hands? Is that what he's doing?
No, he's just going red, right. Yeah, whatever lights up.
Got it.
So it's all random.
Okay.
Good. Now let's just go blue. Blue with distracting colors. So the idea here is being able to, George, hard to get here, I know the feeling. So the idea here is the obvious dual tasking, the ability to obviously recognize color, and you'd be surprised at how many times people have a problem with that simple type of movement. We can have people with ACLs sitting over the side of a table and just doing knee extensions, and on a table would be red, blue, and they can't process. Too much going on at one time. So to go more simple, we'll start breaking it down to a more simple component. So it's just going to be blue, right? You're just going to tap. Let's go tapping with right hand. And you got distracting colors? So it's just going to be blue with distracting colors. These are usually 15 to 30 second bouts. So we'll alter the duration of the bout. Only blue. So he's got to recognize the blue, but at the same time he has to stabilize, right? He's got the ability to stabilize as well.
Yeah.
George is doing a perturbation, right?
Yeah.
So we've put people on.
Yeah, we got the Let's go, Lewis. Come on. There you go.
Grab the Bosu, will you? So we've put people on, like if you have dancers, ballet dancers, people that are really good gymnasts, really good with the core of their body. We'll up the tempo a little bit. Let's go ball side up. Well, you know what? Yeah, leave it that way. Yeah, that's all right. We'll maximally challenge. You'll be all right, all right?
Hang on, feet on?
Yeah, feet on, hands here. George, jump in.
Just right?
Yeah, go 15 seconds, right? So we're going to shorten the bout a little bit. We're going to make it 15 seconds instead.
It's just cool. You're going to have another guy down there. I know.
George, you want to give a perturbation?
It's really hard. Wow, that's impressive. Oh, man, he's out of that.
Got to be able to catch him too. Yeah, really. Not bad, not bad.
Well done.
So, one of the things though, obviously a lot of people can't be in that position, so they can be knees to hands or the intelligence wall. So let's go to the wall. So you still going to do it, or you want him to do it?
We can switch.
Yeah, let's switch. So let's just go. Is it? Oh, that's plugged in there.
Yeah, they have a set.
Do we have a smaller ball or no? Okay. So what we're going to do is like the first drill that we normally do on the intelligence wall. These will light up. I like distracting colors just because you have to process. The only ones that get in trouble are if they're colorblind. Blue and purple tend to merge together, so you have to ask if they're colorblind, believe it or not. Do we know what's up there?
It's going to be blue with like 3 distracting colors.
Okay. And then we're going to make it a little more interesting where he has to navigate with a ball, catch, tap, and then something else. So we're always trying to increase the challenges. But it's about processing, it's about reacting, it's about moving effectively and not having a problem. Are you ready? Not catching the ball, you're just tapping. So reaction time. And you can see how this is a little bit more of a lower level than somebody who's in a high plank position.
Right, right.
Is this the only ball we have? Soccer ball. So now we'll ask him to do, he's going to face me. I'll throw a ball to him. Can you set that up, red, blue? So let's make it interesting. These people are hanging around. So again, he'll catch a ball. Red is right, left is blue. We can change that up. But as he catches the ball, he's got to, again, process. So multiple things going on. Usually we use a soccer ball or basketball. This ball is a little bit different. Ready? You guys want red, blue, right?
Yeah. There is blue in there. I promise.
There is blue?
Yeah, there it is.
There you go. You got a hex stick? So next, whoop. So even a little bit more difficult, right? So we'll call the color. It's got to catch the color. You're going to keep it red, blue? Yeah, let's just keep it red, blue. So he's got to catch the color, flip it back. I have to catch it. And so he's going to do red.
For you too?
Pardon me?
Does he call the color?
That's
for
the
you?
next, that's tomorrow. You got to come back tomorrow.
I'm going to tap it with the color.
We're going to tap it with the color. He's going to tap it with the color. That's cool. Are you ready?
You got this hat.
No, you got red, blue, right? That's what you guys punched in? Green. Blue. Red. Green. Red. Bad toss. Blue. Red. Green. Red. Bad tosses. Blue.
I played this game with me.
Yeah, no kidding. Let's go lower extremity. So you kind of get the idea. How about go 4 across? So this is one we use with ACL patients a lot. A lot of times we start them on cones so they don't have to bend over, no twisting, anything like that. This time what we're going to do is have them twist. You want to, who's doing it?
I'll toss it to you.
Okay. And that way I can talk through it.
Yeah.
So these in the clinic, what's our distance in the clinic? I forgot.
4 feet.
4 feet. So in the clinic we put these 4 feet apart. It's just trial and error. That's kind of been the magic distance, just by figuring it out.
Blue.
Stay low.
Tight cord.
And so we have some data on this on individuals where in time frames we know approximately what should be the number of touches. George, you want to jump in on one? You want to jump in on something? Save my voice here. Good. Let's go 4 corners. Now, feel free to jump in with any questions or comments, too. I mean, we've got one thing nice about this, you can make it very adaptable. So you got a soccer player, obviously we don't have room. We'll put 2 and 2. They'll be here. They kick a soccer ball, have to locate the color, kick, locate. We can do it with 2 balls. We're bombarding their central nervous system. So a variety of things you can do. So it can be very patient specific. We do with older patients too, whatever that means to you. For me, that means 110 or more. Where, you know, like a total knee patient, we'll use the cones where they're just moving and tapping, where they have to process from a balance standpoint. So it's not just for sports, trust me. We try to make it for all types of patients. Yeah.
I had a question. How soon are you usually like implementing in this in like the rehab process? Like if they're post-op, are you doing like simpler exercises with
Like
these?
ACLs?
Yeah, or are you waiting until they're able to do more dynamic things?
Yeah, it depends on how well. So the question is, how soon after an ACL? How soon after an ACL would you implement something like this? We'd start pretty elementary.
Yeah.
You know, maybe just sitting on the table. We talked about that earlier, where they're doing knee extensions and they're just tapping. A lot of times with older patients, processing becomes a bit of a problem. It's not just balance. But we have patients, I have some videos where they get all discombobulated. You know, it's so much in their central nervous system at one time. Cognitively, they can't disassociate things. They get overwhelmed.
How would you go about explaining to like a younger athlete who might be like, why are you having me do this? What's happening? Like, how would you go about explaining that?
Yeah,
process?
yeah. So the question is, how do you explain this? Like maybe benefits or goal? You know, quite honestly, you know, we tell them it's a neurocognitive exercise, which they don't know what that means. But we're training you as far as how you're processing, doing multiple things. But most of them enjoy it much more than anything else. And the reason being is it's fun. You know, the first question they ask is, what's the record? How many taps are the most? How did I do? You know what I mean? Especially if it's an athletic population. So they really don't ask that question. They really ask more, can I do more? You almost have to hold them back. You guys did the 4 corners? Right. How about we go upper extremity, little semicircle? Other questions or comments? So we're going to go back to upper extremity. We're going to do a semicircular, just to give you some. Let's go no bosu first. No bosu first, and then bosu second. So trying to keep things maybe more anterior to them, so you can mess around with this, obviously. He's used to this.
So I use it in our clinic for peds.
Oh yeah, sure.
Super motivating
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
kids.
Yeah, for sure.
Even some really
Yeah, I mean they
low
like it. It's
cognitively
yeah,
because
it's
it's
fun.
light.
Yeah, it's fun. It's instead of the boring exercises.
Yeah.
Now, Lewis, you know, can you do one more thing before we break that? Now, do a standing where you tap. So to answer your question about early stuff, so this would be one that we could do fairly early. So no. So just no, you're just in a single leg squat.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. So here, you know, it would be a stabilizing leg. We can put a resistance band on. You can make it where he's doing like a foot fire or a stagger step and tap. So this would be
patients, single leg stance. This is great.
yeah, right.
Shift,
Yeah, yeah. George, go ahead, please.
I just wanted to, I'm Kevin's wingman today. With the first test, Lewis did, the coach test. It's a reliable test. Out of 1,200 posters here, that poster will be over there this afternoon. And it's out of 1,200 posters, it's up for an award as one of the best posters here. And what it does is it establishes the reliability.
Yeah, so
Test, retest. Likewise, we did it also with the open convention, where we basically did test, retest, and we know it, they're reliable testing. So that's important, because we can use these for rehab, but we're going to use it also for cognitive reactive testing. It's very important that we also have a reliable test to start with, and they are. So the open chain testing, closed chain testing, reliable tests. So we can use it as serial reassessment on patients and do all these razzmatazz interventions in between. So,
No, that's a great
Good.
point. I mean, you know, we can talk about all this stuff all day long. It's nice to have.
they're going to talk a little longer.
So, how many people here use BlazePods? I'm just curious. So, really, not that many. Wow. Okay. Be curious why not, but you know, maybe just didn't know about it. Right.
I call out.
So, what are you guys doing? So we're going to do wide balance, right? That's a little, isn't that a little far for you to reach?
upper.
Yeah, no, for lower. For lower, so you're standing and just, where you're going in a V, so you're going to have to go that way.
Okay.
So a lot of people use what's called a wide balance test. So you can quantify this, a Y balance, and see a reactive Y balance test. What's that?
This way, right?
Yeah.
Too far to go back.
So, I don't know, which way are you standing though? You're throwing me off. Yeah, right. So you'll stand next to that one.
Oh,
You want
next
this
to-
one in
yeah,
the
yeah,
middle.
okay.
You remember this one?
Yes, easy one.
How quickly we forget.
It's been a while.
It's been a long week here, right? So this is going to be a takeoff of a reactive test. So go ahead. And then we'll show you a functional test that we like to do. This is when it's going to get a little more hairier. This is going to get exciting. I'm sorry, you fall. Sorry about that. And you can put 2 pods, so it could be a row. So a lot of people use like a shuttle run of some sort, like a T run, right? Or maybe an L run. And with the T run, when somebody's doing a T run, you run up and you go to the right, you go to the left, you go back to the center, and you go back. So can we set it up? You know the T run that we're talking about. We'll just make believe this is the T run here. Yeah, it's going to be tight, but they'll get the idea.
Oh wait, are we in the way?
So no, you're good. I mean, we don't have enough room. So the T run is 10 yards running or 10 meters, depending on if you live in Europe or the United States. So it's 10 yards by 5 yards by 5 yards. So we're going to punch in that it's random. How you doing? Good. We're going to punch in that it's random. So he's going to pretend like he's running up. The lights will go off. He's got to react to it.
Way better than
Tap.
I planned. Yeah.
Tap, react to where it lights up. Hopefully one of these two. Tap again. And it's an automatic timer from the start to the finish. So it'll give you the time as well. But you can certainly do it on your clock as well. Okay? So just give us a second. So you just have to get the configuration. I threw them a little curve here at the last minute, but you can also do an L as well, right? So a lot of times we've done it with cones in the clinic where they'll just tap it if we're concerned about cutting. You know what I mean? Sometimes some people, you want to see what level they're at and you don't really feel super comfortable with hard cutting.
But at least this you can time it instead of just using cones. You can
Yeah.
more reaction.
Yeah,
to
right.
it.
Yeah, exactly. What was it?
11.5.
I'm below.
You're low. Now what you can do also is let's not do the BlazePod. I'm just going to put the cones there. You're going to run and I'm going to say which direction. So again, imagine this is 10 yards by 5 by 5 yards. So what I'm going to do is, you're going to do it? Yeah, just go slow, like walk through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him the direction. We can do this on a BlazePod, but I don't want to waste time with the configuration. So go forward, right, left, boom. Does that make sense? So this way, you can kind of verbally get involved as well instead of just the lights predicting it. Let's do a hop test. So let's say that's the hop. So that's your start point, and just do a single leg. So one of the other tests that people do with ACLs are hop tests, right? So go ahead and hop. No, I'm going to just say you land on the right. So that's pretty good. Hold it. Okay. Kind of see that. Okay, so now I'm going to call out which foot he's going to land on. Does that make sense? So now when you go to, I'll say go and then the foot. Ready? Go. Left.
Wow.
One more time. Ready? Go. Right. Good. So now, are you guys, you want to just switch the lights? Or yeah, to the cones? How do you want to do this?
Just put these.
Yeah, just flip them? Okay. We're just trying to save time, sorry. Usually in the clinic, I mean, you get them set up on your iPhone, it's fast. I mean, you go through 5, 6 drills. So you're gonna do, you're gonna do the same hop test. I'm gonna call out the leg, but when you land, you gotta hit the code. What do we have? We have 3?
You want them right in a row?
Yeah, right in a row.
I'm just hopping to them.
Yeah, you'll hop 2 in front. Check this one out. You'll like this one. It's a little edgy, you know, so pick your patience. This is not your total knee. You know, this is somebody that you think is ready, or they're telling you they're ready to go back after ACL or some type ankle sprains, even hip stuff. So what he's going to do is he's going to push off. I'm going to call out the leg, then he has to hit the light. The other thing I failed to mention is when that light goes off in the next one, it measures your reaction time from light to light. Does that make sense? So as you start doing your slides, we can start seeing as you start to fatigue, or are you better in one direction or another? Does that make sense? And you get a little graph. Yes. You get a little graph of all the scatter plots, and so you can show the patient in real time and say, look what's happening. You know, you're off on this, especially upper extremity. Usually somebody's worse on one side versus the other. Usually. Some people are exceptional. Usually a gymnast, people like that, but not baseball players. Are you ready? So you know what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I got like a 1 second delay. So when I hit it, and then you said jump, and they'll light up.
Yeah.
And then I
That'll
land,
work.
and then
so
tap the blue.
and actually I'd go by probably half second delay because you want it in the air,
Yeah.
right?
I'm hitting it when I land.
George, you might want to chime in on this one. So this is a new one. So are you ready? So you're going to land in front, right? Okay. So you're on the right foot. Ready? Go. Left. So we can put the timer on whatever. Ready? Left. Good. This time you're going to catch in the air and you're going to tap. The ball's right behind you. Ball's right behind you. So leg, I'll call go whatever side. Catch the ball in the air. Ready? Go. Left. There you go. That's good, Louis. Should I make it harder, like throw weight on her? Yeah. Oh, sorry, my bad. I was carrying on a conversation here. All right, you ready? Are you always on the right, by the way? Zach, change up, man. I'm not paying attention. Ready? Go. Right. I see why he switched. Yeah. Stay on the left. Ready? Go. Left. One more, just so you can see a difference what I'm doing. Ready? Go. Left. I thought it would have been easy. I thought it would have been easier. The high ones are the tough ones. High? Low? All right. Sorry. I can't do 2 things at once, obviously. All right. Yeah, right. Really bad right now. All right, nobody talk to me. Ready? Let's go on the left. There we go. Go, right. George. Go ahead, jump in. See, no fun intended.
No, jump in. Great rise and Yeah, this is going to be validated. But just doing a simple hop test.
Talk about the new study, maybe, the one we're working on. Of the lower extremity and the upper extremity. You know what I mean? The lower one that just got published, you might want to mention that one.
For anybody who's interested in some of the information in IJSPT, open access, free, and it's old, it was 2 weeks ago, it was just published with a lot of the lower extremity testing. And again, we also now almost ready to go. We have the upper extremity with the closed chain and the open chain, and we've included the reliability information in that one. We don't have a lot of reliability on some of the lower extremity stuff yet. We're working on it. But again, I think the most important thing is functional rehab. Don't lose sight of the first 3 letters. If a patient's not having fun, you're damn sure you're not going to be having fun either. So that's why being so creative is so much fun for the patient. I will often have a patient in a clinic, let's say it's a high school kid. His parents bring him, he's doing the rehab, and the parents sitting there with their children. After they do some of the razzmatazz stuff, I take the BlazePods, put them on a table, invite the little children who are sitting with mom to come over and play whack-a-mole. And they love it. They love it, getting the kids involved in something like that. So again, remember, functional rehab, the first 3 letters, you gotta have fun, and that way it makes it stimulating for the patients. And then it also, again, is adding that new neurocognitive reactive testing. That's been missing. We're getting better in the lower extremity. Dustin Grooms has done a lot of publishing there. Upper extremity, very minimal. Kevin and I have probably published as much on that as anybody. So we need to make that next step, and it's not all the traditional testing that we've all done, but we've got to add that new neurocognitive reactive testing. Establish the reliability, which is now done for the upper extremity, and now we need to take it to the next level, looking at the predictive validity, getting people back to sport, eliminating and preventing re-injuries, and we're working on that. So, but this just helps us. It's another tool in the process.
So one of the tests that George came up with was the closed kinetic chain upper extremity, one where you go back and forth, and that was, I don't even know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago? Longer? 25 years ago?
I'm not polite to count.
God, we published it 25 years
25
ago.
years ago?
Yeah,
Time flies.
we were doing
Seems
it
like
way before that.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So what we've tried to do with the BlazePods is again quantify, just as George was saying. It's an excellent test. Everybody has used it to some degree, but now we can make it a little bit different.
Better.
Well, yeah, maybe. More reactive, more neurocognitive, sorry.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah, we're trading this thing.
The plain closed kinetic chain test, which does not require any equipment, is the most popularly published upper extremity functional test in the literature. Over 50 index medicus publications that include that. But again, it's a proactive test. You know what you're doing. We've got to change that because sports are not all proactive. All sports are reactive, and that's where this adds the new element that we really need to include.
Last test we want to show, or last movement, it's hard for us to do here just because we don't have the proper setup, but maybe we can show it on the reactive wall. So what it is for overhead athletes, we're testing softball players and baseball players now, where it's a 2-pound plyo ball. They throw it up against the wall, dribbling it. The BlazePods are lined up on the wall, 3 of them, and they have to tap as they throw. So we don't use the wall for this, the intelligence wall. We basically, these BlazePods can get stuck on the wall as well. So we've gone to schools to do the testing. We've tested professional, college, and high school healthies as well as in the clinic. So for instance, in baseball, like UCL's Tommy John surgeries are super common. We have a series like 70, 80 people we've tested already as far as starting a throwing program. So just give us 1 second to kind of figure out, this is not the ball we use. We use a 2-pound ball. It's a gel-filled ball that actually bounces. So you have to have the right ball. If it's filled with sand, it won't bounce very well. This is foam. So it's, what's the word, guys? Good? We can just go through the motions too. Any questions on this stuff? Obviously, like the setups, we've tried to have certain standardized setups so we can do things consistently. But again, it's very much open to, what your patient's able to do and so forth. What do you think? So check it out. Yeah, that's the problem. The ball doesn't bounce is the problem. But the other aspect is these BlazePods are lined up in a row, vertical row. This is pretty nice that you have to move that way, but if you're really throwing And you got to recognize that's in my mind that's probably enough right now without all over. Yeah, it was good enough. Yeah. Question. Oh, you know what? One more. What about ball drops?
I could just do it in a plank.
Yeah, you could do it in a plank.
Hold one arm and then tap.
All right, last one. One more. And that's part of the problem. Like you can just keep going with this stuff. So we do a lot of ball drops where the person lays on their stomach. Thank you. And they drop and catch the ball. It's a weighted ball, but at the same time you can tap.
Which, by the way, Kevin's been doing that for years. We have a paper that's now in review. Kevin and I are both on it, but somebody else is a senior, and we've proven the reliability of that test as well. So even though he's been using it for many years, we now have reliability to document it. So you can use it for serial reassessment besides the interventions, and I think that's an important step.
Perfect. This is not the usual setup. We usually don't use the BOSU, but that's cool. All right, have at it.
In your study, are they on the end of a treatment mat, or where
Yeah,
are they?
a table, treatment
and you're
table.
using that same
2-pound ball.
2-pound
Yeah,
ball.
unless they're really small, like a young gymnast, weighs 90 pounds, then we'll go to a 1-pound ball. Really because of the size of the hand. Yeah, they just can't grab a 2-pound ball.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky.
Yeah. All right, check this one out. This one is probably the toughest one so far. Now you can do a stave with it, or you just tap the light. Yeah, no kidding. Well, we're trying to simulate that table. What's your delay? 1.5. So you can again alter the delay from the light to light. The light to light lighting up. You can make it longer or shorter. That's why I asked them, what was your delay? It's 1.5 seconds right now.
Okay.
That's why it doesn't light up right away, because we want time to do the stave. When that comes up, you got the reaction on there? Does it show the dots?
Yeah.
Let me just show them real quick. So this is what I was talking about with the dots. So that's each target that they go to hit. You can see the reaction time, and it will give you data on that. Give you data on that as well. All right, questions? Anything on this stuff? Anything at all? Comments, questions? It's open to your imagination. It's just whatever you want to do from a setup standpoint. Just be aware of healing constraints. What are you trying to accomplish? But people, trust me, people love this thing, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, they get hooked. Yeah. In a treatment, they'll say, "Are we doing BlazePods today?" Or "I didn't do BlazePods yet." That type of thing. So you know that they're entrenched in it. They're hooked. All right, good. Thanks.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
absolutely. Enjoy the rest of the conference.